150 best players in the world, and against them, he's not good. Perk, not all players are judged by counting stats. Your own tweet proves my point. You never averaged anything close to 20, but you were a big part of a championship team.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Perk. There's
Here we
more.
go. Matt Barnes.
Oh, crap.
You're an analyst. Remember that. You were never good enough to play sports, so you got to talk about it. Barnes goes on to add, save all that pal talk. When it comes to disrespect, choose your words wisely. Remember where you live, Nicholas.
Okay. Really?
Wow.
Is Matt Barnes threatening me over an Andrew Wiggins opinion?
It was a hot take.
It was not a hot take, but of all the things to get fired up about. And by the way, prior to 72 hours ago, I had nothing but love for Matt Barnes. I like his podcast with our friend Steven Jackson. He's had an awesome NBA career, got absolutely the most out of his ability, and all of a sudden, he's this in his feelings about Andrew Wiggins.
Hot take.
It was not a hot take. It was not a hot take. Of all the things I've ever said on television.
There's nothing wrong with it. You stand by. It's a player you don't like his game very much.
Nobody's ever liked his game. Everyone was in agreement on this.
But Golden State's a good fit for him.
Why?
Because he's the one pick, obviously, so you expect more out of him. He never panned out to be the one pick, a franchise player, but he goes to a place now.
He's on a good contract.
Right, now he can go in a place where he can now be the third or fourth option.
All right, so let me ask a question.
Well,
is there any player in the league that would not be a good fit on Golden State? Is there anybody? Is this just the rule? You go to Golden State, you're a good fit, no matter what.
Well, I think you got to be. When Steph and Clay are playing, you got to have a skill set. You got to be skilled a little bit. You got to be able to pass the basketball and do some things with those guys.
Career high 3.4 assists this year. Okay, listen. Of all the things I've ever said on TV, I always thought it was in play that a former athlete would threaten me. I didn't think it would be Matt Barnes, who that's a legitimate option for him, and that it would be over Andrew Wiggins. Everyone's lost their mind. Everyone's gone crazy.
It's been a fun weekend.
I had no idea there was an Andrew Wiggins hive. I have no clue.
All right, let's talk some Rockets.
Everyone's gone
Not
crazy.
nearly as hot a take. Boyan
I don't want that smoke, though, Matt Barnes. I'm not lying.
Boyan hit the game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer to help Utah escape with the win last night.
Impossible shot.
Houston now 1-2 since trading away Clint Capella for Robert Covington. Or in other words, Houston now 1-2 since going all small ball. Twan, can the Rockets make a finals run going all in with this lineup?
No, they can't make a run with this team. Small ball is not going to work with them because they don't have the right personnel to play small ball. If you really look at that team and make up, to play small ball, you got to have some guys defensively that's tough-minded, that's willing to guard bigger guys. I think besides P.J. Tucker might be the only guy on their team.
And P.J. Tucker's great at that.
Yeah, he'll be really good at it. But in small ball, you ask James Harden now, he has to guard. Russell Westbrook has to guard. Then you got House. I just don't like, and Rob Covington, I like Rob Covington, but he's still not a great defender. He has long arms, and he could be a great defender, but they don't have the right personnel to play small ball. I don't think they're a great three-point shooting team. We know they make threes, but they take a lot of threes. So I don't think they're that type of three-point shooting team. And then they don't have those shooters like that, if you really think about it. And you look at the game last night, they got out-rebounded by 12.
They're going to get out-rebounded probably every night.
And I just don't think they have the right personnel. Now, if they'd have made a move at the break and got Andre Iguodala, if they'd have made Jay Crowder, you add those two guys to the mix, now you probably can play small ball. You got to get the right personnel to play it. This is another wish, hope, dream by the Rockets to try to make a run.
Let me ask you this real quick before I give my answer. Prior to the trade deadline, prior to moving Capella, did you think they could make a finals run? I
thought they did with Capella, yes, I did. I believe.
Okay, so you think they got worse?
Yeah, they got worse with this. They're trying to play a different style of basketball mid-season. Eric Gordon seems like he's not going to be healthy. He's in and out the lineup. They're just not as deep as they were in the past. It's a different type of team. I don't like that they don't value possessions, and they've done that in the past. But, you know, too many games, Harden's 2 for 13, 1 for 17. From three-point line. I just think you can't do that in the West. Too many good teams.
All right, so listen, I don't want to overreact to this shot. It's not even this game because that was, by the way, excellent defense on that shot. It was just a hell of a play by Bogdanovich. Like one of the best shots of the NBA season thus far. If he misses that shot, The Rockets are 2-1 since the trade, having beaten the Lakers and the Jazz, two teams you're going to have to go through in the West, with a terrible performance sandwiched in between against the Suns. With the loss, they're now 1-2, obviously, since the trade. 11-3, though, in games without Clint Capella this season, a shot away from being 12-2. Can they make the finals? Yeah. I still think they have, of all the teams in the West, the second best chance beside the Lakers, because I think you need to add massive variance to beat the Lakers, barring some type of injury, obviously, and the Rockets can add it with the 3-ball, but it is a massive risk. And to me, while I think their chances to make the finals actually ticked up 1% or 2 with the trade, because you saw what they did to Rudy Gobert yesterday. They made Rudy Gobert essentially unplayable. Like,
well, look at some of the Simmons that's similar. Like, think about those Phoenix Suns teams. I mean, obviously, Amari Stoudemire can play a little 5, but he was undersized at the 5 position. Those teams, they hit roadblocks. That San Antonio Spurs was a roadblock for them. Shaquille O'Neal was a roadblock for them. You got to have a legit big man to be able to play in this game, because rebounding becomes such a factor, and the possession game comes in play. Well,
the point that I was going to make is, I think because they're going to be such a unique matchup, even in a 2-week playoff series, that maybe they can overachieve and beat a team they shouldn't. But because of this trade, they are also, to me, their percentages went up to get bounced in the first round. Their percentages went up to have the season fall apart. Listen, Daryl, I haven't spoken to Daryl about why he did this. I think there was multifaceted. I think they were concerned about Capella's health, not just right now, but for the rest of the season moving forward. I think that there was potentially, there's been reports, pressure to duck the tax again, even though that wouldn't make a lot of sense to me, because they ducked the tax last year and you're clearly all in on this team. But I also think one part that shouldn't be underrated here is, I do think what this will open up for Russ is really good. I think Russ is going to play with more spacing than he's ever played within his career. And you were already seeing Russ, while Capella was out with the injury, play some of the best ball the best ball he's played with the Rockets. And if you have Russ and Harden clicking at the same time, you're as dangerous as just about any team in the league. The problem for the Rockets has been Harden was clicking the first third of the year. Russ been clicking the last third, and now we need to see them do it at the same time.
And for this to work, they need to do it at the same time, right?
Yes.
How do you think go ahead.
Without question, they both got to be clicking at the same time. I think it just comes some of the other things. I think they both great players, great scorers. I trust that they're going to do their job, but they have to make commitments too defensively. They got to guard a little bit better. You don't have a shot blocker back there. You got to keep guys in front of you. So they got to change their mindset a little bit too. When you got Clint Capella back there, you can let a guy blow by you because you got somebody big challenging at the rim. Now, are they going to put their body in front of them, take charges? It's a lot of things, a lot of components with the small ball that I don't know if they're willing to make those commitments. And I don't know if that's the right personnel. Like I said, I think it's if you're going to make this big trade, it was other guys out there. It looks like Jay Crowder's been moving around. He's always been on the trade block. Andre Iguodala, do you believe that he could have been the difference maker? It looked like he was looking for a contract extension when he went to the Heat. Everybody thought he was going to the Lakers and the Clippers. So those would have been minimum deals. So he was looking for a deal. If you wanted to make a move and play small ball, if that was in your head, it was better players out there that could have fit in the system.
And listen, my one big criticism of the Clippers this year has been lack of a rim defender. Obviously, the Rockets now have no type of rim defender whatsoever. And against the Lakers, because if you're going to make the NBA Finals out of the West, you're going to have to go through the Lakers, obviously. The Lakers can play a better small than you can play by just sliding Anthony Davis in at the 5. Then they're still big enough to punish you for your lack of size, but Davis is so nimble and agile that he's not going to be punished on the defensive end the way Rudy Gobert was. Rudy Gobert was drawn away from the basket last night and was seemingly a man without a country. And so the Lakers can mute that advantage to a degree. Now, they're not going to play JaVale or Dwight much if they're playing the Rockets, but I don't think they'll need to, because they have a guy in Anthony Davis who, even though he doesn't like to play center, can play center and can take away some of your offensive advantages by playing small.
That's the great thing about the Lakers team. They're built for any matchup. They can play small, big, mid-size, whatever you want, the Lakers can play it.
And it's every move Daryl's made in Houston, I've understood the thread through. The first one that was a little bit of a head-scratcher was the Chris Paul-Russell Westbrook trade, but you got it because they were worried about Chris Paul's health, and Russ is a better player. This is the next one where it's like, I understand the argument for it. I'm not sure it's the move, given how close they were a couple years ago and that Russ was playing his best